Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of the e-Discovery channel as we're all wiping tears out of our eyes from talking about Gayle for the last few minutes in memories of her. We're here. I'm here with two of the favorite people in my life, Maribel Rivera from Maribel Rivera Marketing. Did I get that right, Maribel? Yeah. And
Yes.
Joy Murao from PAR, Maribel in New York, Joy out in LA, both great friends of Gayle. They're on the Gayle O'Connor Spirit Award committee, and we're here really to let them talk about the announcement of the opening of the nominations for this year's awarding of the Spirit Award. We do it every year, traditionally on e-Discovery Day, December 1st. So the nominations are open. And ladies, I'll let you talk about that and how people can do it and where it's at. And I'll just say quickly, and Maribel will talk more. Maribel has done yeoman's work putting up a new LinkedIn site and getting the press release out there. And again, as I was saying to them just before this, it warms my heart knowing that Gayle is still. Now I'm tearing up again. That she's still an inspiration to so many people. So I'll let you talk because I can't.
I don't know. Do you want to go first, Joy? Do you want me like?
Well, I was going to say, if you didn't mind, I can speak and then you can close it out and really talk about how to nominate. But I will say that we're coming upon ILTA, and that's one of our biggest and best conferences of the year. And Tom, I remember, if you remember, in Florida a few years back, we all met up in the bar area that had karaoke. Yep, yeah. Oh, there, yeah.
Got my
And
Ilta mug.
yeah, and she walked in with these yellow leather pants and this beautiful shirt. And she got up on that stage, Maribel. She got up on the stage and she sang like a Pat Benatar. Or I mean, I was just floored. I did not know, Tom, that she had that amazing voice.
You had a great,
I'm like,
great.
right? I was like, let's get out of here. We're hitting the road. Like I was, and
Oh,
I'm
I couldn't go into a karaoke place with her because she'd get up on the stage and she'd be a hit. Although I'll tell you a funny story. One year we were in Nashville for ILTA, right? Of course, Gayle said the first thing when we get to a hotel, all right, where's the karaoke clubs? So we go down to, I forget what the main drag there is in Nashville. And
Broadway.
Broadway, yeah, okay. And we go into
Broadway.
a karaoke club and the first person gets up and you're looking around going, is this a recording artist? The first three people who sing, and then you realize, oh, well, these are all people who came to Nashville to sing, right? They're working in a bar or a restaurant or whatever. And it was the first time I've ever seen Gayle like intimidated. She said, well, I can't get up and sing. She said, I'm not going to get up and sing. Well, these people are saying these people are professionals. And we left. And then we went back. I know we went to another club where we walked down Broadway. And after about half an hour, Gayle, she goes, "Oh, screw that. We're going back. I'm going to sing. I can't. They're not
I
going to
can
run me out of this town."
I can hear that. These boots are made for
Right.
walking. I can
Yeah.
hear it.
And of course, yeah, we had gone to a place and bought like cowboy boots, of course. And she had her new boots on and a cowboy. She, no, I'm going back. And then she got up and I think she sang. I think she sang Joan Jett. I don't give a damn about my bad reputation. And of
Perfect.
course, she was
I
great.
love it.
But yes, she had a wonderful voice. I remember that night in Florida. It was in that little Chinese restaurant.
Yes, it was really, and it was, I have the picture. There's a picture, I think, Maribel, that Candy posted that was, we had the
Oh,
trio photo. It was one of our, yeah. And again, the concept that all after she sang, everyone got up, was really helping build the community. And she took that brave step to be one of the first ones to sing and make every feel. Yes, it was intimidating, but it was inviting. You know what I mean?
yeah.
She didn't go up there because some people do that and you're like, I'm not following that, but she made it fun and she made it full of spirit, which is, that's Gayle. And again, Maribel, thank you for doing all that work for the site, because this is going to live on beyond us, right? This is something that is going to stand on its own. And again, she's an inspiration. I know a lot of people are not going to have or don't have the fortunate opportunity to have met her, right? That right, but there are so many people in our community that emulate or it, that they embody her spirit and her heart. And it's not just a woman, right? This is anybody in our industry. This award is open to anybody.
Yeah.
Because I hope that we're thinking about how people make other people feel, right? I know my name's Joy, so I always feel like, it's all about joy, right? But it truly is that saying, I don't care if you went to college or didn't go to college, or if you're a lawyer or not a lawyer or whatever. We're in this ecosystem together, and there is such opportunity. If you have the heart to help and the mind to learn, then there's a job for you in legal. And I just love that what we do and what I'm doing now, talking to Gayle through those years of being scared of me, like not wanting to like put myself out there.
Yep.
And she's very supportive, like, go do it, just do it. Like, she's so brave. And that's what I take back from her. And, Tom, when we were doing, the celebration, and you were kind enough to let people come in and take a piece of Gayle with us home. I took one of her red bike rider, what do you call those handkerchiefs that go around your
bandana? Yeah.
bandana?
Yeah.
And when I put that on, I feel fierce. I feel like I'm on fire.
No,
Like,
you got to be
better
careful
watch out if I
wearing
put
red
that
around
on.
LA, though. You know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, there's a Harley store right down the street. I bet you I could look like I fit in. But
Oh yeah.
just that power that she had, in the presence she had, and the heart she had. Especially during the COVID times, we spent a lot of time on Ari's phone calls, the virtual lunch,
Yeah.
and literally every day for, gosh, almost over 2 years for sure. I remember calculating, I'm like, my God, you guys, we spent like 3 months together. Like, like if I added up all the hours. But you really got to help each other. And you mentioned like Gayle being there for people, and you may not know it, with it's either direct or indirect. She's
Right.
there and she makes an impact.
Right.
And I hope that we can find other people that do that in our community, because I love our community. It's small, but it's mighty, right? So,
And I do think, speaking from the male perspective here, but she was very conscious of women not getting their due. She didn't have a college degree, she didn't have a law degree, and often got rejected for jobs because of that. And that would just spur her on more. And whenever she would hear somebody saying, "Oh, I'm not qualified for that," she would just get angry. She'd go, "Yeah, no, I don't want to hear that. You are qualified. Can you do it? Do you think you can do it? Then you're qualified. You've been working in this business for 15 years, and that makes you more qualified than somebody who just got a degree 3 months ago with no life experience." And yeah, she really, really believed in that, and mentoring other women to stand up and say, "Yeah, I am qualified. I can do that. Everybody knows I can do that. Don't tell me I can't do that. I got this thing, sitting right here. It's a plaque she had over her desk. It says, "They said you can't, and she said, watch me." I keep this hanging over my desk.
That's it. And I
That
think
was-
that's what bonded me with her, is she and I were very much alike, right? I don't have a college degree. Everything I've done is through my grit and hustle and everything else. And I will, so here go to two reasons why I love that we've launched the nominations for the Gayle O'Connor Spirit Award right at ILTACon, because for me it's special. The way I met Gayle was at ILTACon, and ILTACon in DC.
Yeah.
And Gayle, so I am pretty famous. One of the reasons why I have my newsletter, the Stiletto Exec, is because I can run around at a conference all day long in stiletto heels. I had on, I think it was that day, like 6-inch platform heels, and I was walking around the conference. Gayle spotted me probably from like a mile away and ran to me. I had never met this woman before. All I see is this absolutely gorgeous woman, beautiful platinum hair, running over to me, and she's like, "I love your shoes." And I was like, "Thank you so much." And we actually had like a half an hour conversation about shoes, who we are, what we do. And the last thing, because I had already known Tom, I did not know that she was Tom's wife. until I saw them later on at a different conference, and Tom was like, "Oh, you met my wife," and I was like, "I
Ooh,
didn't know she was your
didn't
wife."
see that coming.
Yeah, but she was somebody I bonded with because everywhere we went, she was someone whose spirit I also very much embody myself, right? I learned very early on from another friend who I lost many years ago, and who that you live life to the fullest, you enjoy it, you support the people around you, you do everything you can, and you enjoy every moment of it and live it to its fullest. And for me, every moment I was with Gayle was always the same. We would dance at Relativity Fest or at a bar during Legal Week or wherever we were. We would dance, we would chat, we would smile, we would laugh. If people saw us, they probably thought we were crazy.
Yeah.
Because we were just giggling and laughing, and probably no one knew. And then, so for me, launching this right now means so much because that's where I started my relationship with her years before we lost her. So for me, it's great that we are launching it now and that we can do something on e-discovery day.
Yep. But you made a
just
great point also, Joy, which is, you know, people maybe not even in legal, you saw at the celebration of her life. I mean, we had, you know, people from our business, and we had lawyers, but we had cops and bikers and musicians and just people from all over New Orleans. The UPS guy pulls up, policemen are stopping as they drive by. The musician who was playing, Glenn David Andrews, was a great friend of ours who Gayle had just walked up to at a concert, you know, and hit it off with them. And so, yeah, she had that ability. And it was so funny because people would not know the different things that she did. Like some of the bikers were looking at us with the business clothes going, wait a minute, I didn't know, you know, I didn't know that she did that. What do you mean marketing? Right. I remember Gayle, the wild lady, dancing at the clubs and singing karaoke. And I remember the guy who did the barbecue for us at the celebration. Shaggy is his name. Shaggy the Crawfish King of New Orleans. I was telling him some of the things that she did, and he's looking at me and goes, Gayle? Gayle put on a suit? And he said, yeah, I know the heels. She wore big heels to Jazz Fest. Every time I saw her on the motorcycle, she had heels on. He said, she was crazy. He said, but a suit? So yeah, she just was so people oriented, and it cut across, you know, every line in life. I remember her family, her sister, one of her sisters and her brother were at the celebration, and they were a little concerned because it's a New Orleans celebration of life, right? It's music, it's food, it's as we like to say down here, we put the fun in funeral. And then Glenn, the musician, came down and did the second line through the neighborhood. You know, grab your hankies, and we're walking around and playing, and people are coming out of their houses. And her sister came up to me after they did that. She said, you know, Tom, we were a little worried. Our sister just died and you're throwing a party. Like, you know, that kind of concerned me, but she said, now we get it. Now I see why Gayle loved New Orleans. She said, this city, the spirit of the city is something that she gravitated to. So yeah, it was a great time. It was a great
and it couldn't have been done it could not be done any differently for her to celebrate who she was.
No, it was the quintessential New Orleans celebration of life. As somebody said, the only thing that would have made this party any better is that it was somebody else's funeral and Gayle would have been here. But yeah, it was a great time. So, and again, I can't thank the two of you enough. So, Maribel, what do people want to nominate someone for the award? What do they do?
So we're currently working on the web page. So we're going to have a new website just dedicated to the Gayle O'Connor Spirit Award. The goal is, and we have to give credit to Candy Smith of Graybill, because Candy is the one that came to everybody and started saying, hey, let's do this. And we all said, let's jump in and go. But now
the goal together every month to make sure that we have at least a call and talk to each other. Yeah.
But the goal is to build out a website, but for right now, We want to thank EDRM because they hosted us for the first 3 years, but we're kind of moving away. We want to grow bigger. We're looking to develop scholarship funds and things, but they can find us on LinkedIn under Gayle O'Connor Spirit Award.
Great.
And then, I mean, you know, from there, you can find the nomination form. We've got support from lots of individuals like Doug Austin of eDiscovery Today, who just did something, his blog about the nominations. You'll see it in ACEDS and EDRM and other places. So we do hope that you will not just look at the people who are normally like the leaders that you want to hear from, who are doing innovative things like creating something and doing, I'm not going to say that the 2 letters that everyone is saying lately.
Don't do it.
But
don't say it.
I won't say it. But what we want you to do is look at the individuals around you, the people who, when you see them, warm your heart, the people that bring you joy, the people who, you know, listen to you when you're having a great day or when you're having a bad day. You can pick up the phone and call that person or jump on a Zoom or just send them a note that says, you know, and Joy and I do this, and I do this with other people. We just send, I love you. Just somebody who, at the end of the day, when you see them at a conference, when you see them on a Zoom, they, no matter what your day is feeling like, you know that, yes, they can talk to you about e-discovery and legal technology or wherever field you're in, but they also just fill you with so much joy and warmth, and they make you want to know that you can be invincible. You can do whatever you need to do. You're unstoppable, and that no one should get in your way. And that's what we want you to look at. We want you to look at those individuals who just fill you up with joy.
You know, my last recollection of her is outside the business. You know, you both know she was, you know, she left Seattle when she got out of high school and went to LA to make her fame and fortune. And, you know, she was just known and loved by millions of people who she came across. But at one point, she got a job as a cocktail waitress at the Rainbow Bar and Grill on Sunset Avenue, which is right next to the Roxy, the big theater where all these bands played. So it's where she first started meeting a whole bunch of rock and roll people that are a whole other chapter of her life. But years later, we were going to, when Legal Tech had Legal Tech LA over at the Century Plaza, right? One day she said, hey, we got to go over to Sunset Ave, my old haunts. I'll show you where I used to live, and we'll go by the Rainbow Room, see if anybody's there who I might still know. And we go to the Rainbow, and there's a line out front, people trying to get in. It's still a big place. All the current wave of rock and rollers go there. And we walk up, and the 2 guys who owned the place, who were about my age, are still standing out front, you know, deciding who gets in. They're running the rope, right? Like, oh, you can get in, oh, you can't get in, blah, blah, blah. And we walk up, and one of the guys looks at the 2 of us, and he's looking at me like, you're not getting in. and the other one's looking at Gayle, and he hits the guy. He goes, no, wait a minute. He goes, Seattle, right? Gloria, Genevieve, Gayle from Seattle, right? And you worked here from, like, you know, 1984 to 1987. He remembered her. I mean, you think how many young women went through that place as cocktail waitresses in the 25 years since she had left, and this guy remembered her. And then they give each other a big hug, and we just sat outside talking for a long time and telling war stories. She had that effect on people. She just had that.
And that's what we want people to remember when they're nominating, right?
That's right.
We want them to, who is that person that has that effect? Who is that person that when you're thinking about things and you're having a bad day, you may pass a post or an email from them, whatever it might be, or all of a sudden you get a text from them, you know that this is somebody that will always stay with you, that you can always go to. That's what we are hoping that we can nominate. There's lots of other awards for all kinds of things. I mean, Joy is one. Joy is actually our first recipient after Gayle of the Gayle O'Connor Spirit Award. So we want more people like Joy, and Gayle,
Yep.
and Sheila Grella, and others that
Yep.
we can say, this is who makes us feel great about being a human being.
Inspire
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
And
and
she
I
still
would
does to
say,
me. I keep her picture right here. And, you know, sometimes when I'm having a hard day, I'll still kind of look at her picture, and it's like the old, what would Tyler Durden do? So what would Gayle say? If I were sitting here whining and complaining, what would Gayle say?
Yeah.
Boom, it inspired me. That's what it is. It's the inspiration. So yeah.
Well, I have her shoes above my other desk, so they're in my other office. But I have her shoes above my other desk with her handkerchief from her celebration, and they're in glass encase. And they're glass encase because in case of emergency, I will break the glass and make sure that I know how to walk in Gayle's shoes for the day.
There you go.
That's
There you go.
my tribute to her on a daily basis.
There you go. So that's
I
it.
love it.
Everybody who's listening, yeah. If you know somebody who inspires you, it's the Gayle O'Connor Spirit Award. So we're looking for somebody with that sort of spirit, and we really, really hope you participate and send us some names. We'll I guess we decide sometime after Thanksgiving, and then the announcement's made on e-discovery day, which is always December 1st, right?
Yeah, we'll make the announcement. I think we close nominations October 15th.
Oh,
We
okay.
started a little late, so we closed nominations October 15th. We've already gotten a couple
Good.
of nominations, so we're excited about that. And we will be at Relativity Fest, I think all of us. So
Good.
they can come up to us. We'll have QR codes. You can scan a QR code so that you can nominate someone on the spot. Candy Smith and I will be at ILTACon. Sadly not joined by the two of you, but we will be at ILTACon, so people can do the same during ILTACon. If you've got someone you want to nominate, run up to us, let us know. We'll show you the QR code and you can nominate someone during ILTACon.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, I can't thank you enough. It's always, it brings a smile to my face just telling these stories about her, because she was such a fun person, but such an inspirational person. So look forward to seeing both of you in person, and send those nominations in. Thanks again, Maribel Rivera and Joy Murao, and we look forward to seeing you in person someplace down the road here. Thanks again.
Bye.